Good afternoon and welcome to Rubbin Minds. My name is Isabella Adediji. Growing up as a child, there was a song I shouldn't have been singing. It goes like this: let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things, sex, baby. Let's talk about sex. I know I shouldn't have been singing that song, but let's face it, sex is everywhere. It's in our music, chop banana till you go yo. It's in our films, our music videos, on TV, it's in the magazines, it's in books, it's in novels that we read, Mills and Boone. But when it gets serious to talk about sex, reproductive health, to talk about making informed choices, we get very quiet. And this song, I'm sure I can't even sing it to my mom's hearing, even though I'm married with kids and she knows I have sex. That should just tell you that sex is still a taboo topic. But today on Rubbin Minds, we're going to be breaking it down. We're going to have that conversation and let people know that there are good things about sex and there are consequences. There's a balance to it. To join me for this conversation, I have with me Faustina Ekundare, nurse and clinical specialist at DKT Nigeria. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And we also have Precious Nwagbo, program manager at DKT Nigeria. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. I'm sure you were surprised with me singing that song, and I pray my mom doesn't watch this particular episode because that's not the kind of song you should sing as a child or even as an adult, because sex is still such a taboo. So I'll start with you, Faustina. Sex is everywhere, literally.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's still such a taboo topic?
You see, growing up, I think until at the university level, I was not able to speak about sex openly. I was still very afraid, due to the environment I was brought up with, until I got to nursing school. That was when I was able to still really be open to talk about sex, I think for me, it's the context on the environment and the culture that we are brought up in, as Nigerians, as Africans, we are so very ashamed to talk about sex. Even young people are still afraid to talk about sex. And that leads to many mistakes that people make because they will go out there that they're actually exposed to, internet, in the social medias and things that are happening about sexual content. And so they're exposed to it. But then as young people, as adults, I think we need to change the narrative in such a way that we begin to tailor our conversation such that we're able to just, move on to sex educations more to the young people, talk about your body, your reproduction, the consequences of unprotected sex. So I think for us now, we have to leave the shame part of it to begin to do more of health education to young people, and let them understand their bodies, how their body works, and the consequences of unprotected sex that can lead to stuff like STIs, pregnancies that you do not want at that time. So for us as young people growing up, I think for me to, like my colleague Wale also talk about is for us to begin to say that it's enough of the taboo. Let us leave the taboo behind and fully face the main thing, which is talking about the consequences of unprotected sex.
Thank you for that, Faustina, because as I was listening, I started to think about what sex education meant to me as a child. And a lot of times it's abstinence, it's about how you get pregnant, it's about STI. So my question to you, Precious, is that how come that conversation is not balanced about really understanding your reproductive system, about making informed choices, about knowing the good aspects about sex? I mean, we have children, so you can't have children without sex. So
of course.
How come we don't have that balance in conversation?
Well, I think, again, like Faustina said, it has to do a lot with the environment. And while I think that it is good to talk about the consequences, because really people need to know the consequences of certain behaviors, I believe that you cannot have comprehensive sexual health education without talking about informed choice. And what is really informed choice is giving people the information that they need to decide what is good and what is bad in several contexts. So for us in Nigeria and in this environment that we're in, I think we should start shifting from, like she said, consequences and taboo to making people understand that you can access information that would make you be more aware of your body, more aware of the things that you need to take into consideration before making certain choices, which is one of the reasons why we created Honey and Banana, really. It's an all-inclusive platform where you can get information.
We'll come to that.
Yeah.
When we look at sexual health education, now let me look at an adult. You want to have children. They start telling you about family planning. And it's usually the married women that get all the choices. You can use the copper, you can use the injectables, IUD.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's almost like that's a married woman problem, and you go sort it out, as opposed to a very holistic approach.
Exactly.
So I would like you to comment on that, because if young people don't have access to that information,
yes, they can't make the choice.
Yes, and we've seen instances where people lose their lives because of lack of knowledge.
True, very true, very true. I think that, like we always say, that we need to understand that family planning is reproductive rights, meaning that everybody, both young and old, in the reproductive age grade, supposed to have access to contraception. So we talk about this in our in our platforms, doing outreaches to talk to clients, young people. They need the information. Out there on social media, you see a lot of exposure to sex. People are showing sexual content online, but there's no proper information about what you should do to avoid unwanted pregnancies. And then our parents back there, when we are growing up, they'll tell you if a man touch you, you get pregnant. That's just like what they'll tell you, and that's how you know about it. But we need to move past that one, like I said earlier, young people need to have access to the right information to understand that there are different options available for contraceptions. We have IUDs that can be used. We have implants that can be used for young people. There are condoms that can be used. I advise young people, if you are sexually active, please use a condom, because it's dual purpose. It prevents from pregnancy and also prevents from STIs as well too. So these are the things that we push out there in our platforms, doing outreaches and programs that we do on a regular basis to young people, even to the male as well too, because male has to be informed, aware about what is going on as well too, because it takes two to get pregnant, not just one person alone. So the men has to be involved and support their partners as well in ensuring that they have the right information and make the right decision regarding reproductive health and family planning.
Now, earlier on, Precious, you spoke about honey and banana, and I was just trying to think, what could that be? Because, in my intro, I was like, take banana to go, chop banana to go. What is honey and banana, please? Just explain to us.
Okay, so Honey and Banana is a youth-friendly platform. It's an initiative of DKT Nigeria. And what we do, we've created an ecosystem where we are giving people access to family planning information, child spacing, pregnancy prevention. So at whatever stage in life, but I said youth-friendly, right? Because we want to accommodate people who are within reproductive age to call in and ask pertinent questions. We know that, like you mentioned earlier, informed choice is necessary. Sure. So we are giving these people information that they need to make informed choices. And the ecosystem is such a robust one. We have 5 components to the entire Honey and Banana ecosystem. We have the call center. It's toll-free. You can dial 7790 for free, and you can access information either from an agent or a nurse, qualified people available to serve you. Sure. We've gone beyond that to even make this information available to people in different languages: English, Yoruba, Hausa, even Pidgin. And this platform has taken into consideration all the things that young people would, and even married people would take into consideration when they want to call and find out for information. It's private, it's non-judgmental, no one is going to give your information out anywhere. We also have social media platforms where we give information as well about family planning, myths, misconceptions, because there are a lot. And then there's the partner clinic networks. We've developed an AI-enabled chatbot, and then we have the website. So it's a really holistic platform. When people call in and get information, we refer them to clinics that we work with, where we are assured that they will get quality services. And after they've gone there and decided to take up these methods, we don't just leave them hanging. We follow them up. We know that new contraceptive adopters, sometimes they have some concerns. People hear, oh, I took this, it made me fat. We follow them up to ensure that they understand their body throughout the initial period of method uptake. So our nurses, we call you, we ask you how are you doing on the method for a period of 1 year. So we start with you, we refer you, and we end with supporting you. So it's such a holistic platform that we have. Yeah, like a hand-holding session.
Can you just mention the handles again and the number before I move to you, Faustina?
Okay, so the number for the call center is 7790. It's toll-free. No charges at all, no hidden charges, because I know when you say toll free, some people will be like, but are there hidden charges? There are no hidden charges at all. And then the handles are at Honey and Banana across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, even TikTok now, because we want to, again, reach all the demography within the reproductive ages. So, yeah.
I would like to build on what you said, reaching the entire demographic that have reproductive health, needs, right, and needs. How do we get that conversation to be appealing to men, to be appealing to grandmothers and great-grandmothers, to appeal to young mothers, young fathers, so even in the way they teach their children, even schools?
So that's a very interesting question, because we've had issues where mothers come to the clinic and say they can't take family planning because their husband is saying they cannot take it. Wow. You understand? And I've had another issue, another experience where a woman comes to the clinic and says she cannot have family planning because her mother is saying that in their family, if they have family planning, the family, someone will have to die. You understand? So there are cultural things surrounding family planning, and these things are not true. There are misconceptions about returning to fertility. People will tell you that if I have family planning, can I still conceive again? Those are lies. You can conceive after removing a contraceptive method, you know. There are other cultural issues that some people tell you that if I have family planning, maybe I'll come down with malaria afterwards. Wow. I'm asking questions like, what is the relationship between that, you know, and malaria and family planning? Is not true. So these cultural things exist. You know, main issues also exist as well too. And we do a lot of outreaches, you know, create awareness in the community, you know, in health centers, in hard-to-reach environments, to trying to encourage women, encourage men to understand the benefit of family planning. That first of all, it's about your health. It's not even about preventing pregnancy in the first instance. It's about your overall health. Because you're looking at the complication of pregnancies. I have women that had eclampsia in pregnancy, there are people that are coming down with hypertension in pregnancies. Recently, had someone that called in with an hypertension of about 210/120 with pregnancy. You know, so many things are occurring. And I think there's something that was very popular over, I think, last 2 months, where a man was online saying the woman died while was rushing the woman to the hospital, you know. So these things are happening, you know, and we need our men to understand that. Please, for the sake of the life of the woman that you have, let her take up a method. So we are creating awareness, social media platforms, like she had mentioned earlier over the time, our clinics, outreaches, and programs to ensure that people understand that, first and foremost, please, it's about your life. Whatever you're experiencing, you could have side effects, like she had mentioned. Of course, it will come in with every other drugs, like you have hypertensive drugs, people take them, and you experience a lot of side effects too as well. Even malaria, so when you're taking malaria medication, you feel like, you want to die, you understand, but you still take it because you want to live. So why are you afraid to take a contraception that is helping you to prevent you undergoing some of the complication of pregnancy? So we're telling the men. Yes.
What about the men? Do you also encourage them to do vasectomy?
We do. We encourage men, a lot of men. There are condoms available in different varieties for the men to use. And then vasectomy is also an option for some men. Once you've completed the number of children that you want for your family, you can go for vasectomy, and very easy procedures. Or you use a condom, or please support your partner. Support your wife. Let her go to a clinic. You know, a woman will call you with 3 cesarean section. You know, she had 3 cesarean section, and she's calling to say, my husband is saying that I cannot do family planning. Wow. And we are worried about such situations because we need to understand that, firstly, it's a reproductive right. It is your right as a woman as much as it's my right as a man, if I was a man, you know. So please, men, women, grandmothers, let's encourage our women out there to go out to take up a contraception option that's available for them. Thank you.
All right. We're out of time, but I would like you, Precious, to mention the toll-free number again, the social media handle, so people can find out about this initiative.
Okay, so the toll-free number is 7790. It's free across all networks and the social media platforms at Honey and Banana. At Honey and Banana.
Wow.
And
Thank you so much. That went so fast.
you.
Yeah,
that was
Precious
fun.
Uwago and
Yeah.
Faustina Ikundari. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
It was a lovely
Thank you.
time.
You're
with you.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll now go on a quick break on Rubbin Minds. Don't go anywhere.